Grateful. Hey, Grateful. Fuck. Johnny processed my fucking payment. I paid it. You still fucking shut him off. Fucking voicemail. Hold on, I'm gonna text him.
All
right. Well, Grateful shut off. I think I didn't make my payment to YAG this month, so I think it's just the two of us. Yeah, they fucking shut him off if I don't make the payment on time, and sometimes it's like 5 to 7 days processing. So then, like, even if I pay and it goes over the time, I don't have him for a couple days.
I hear some sort of exhaust coming from Grateful.
Fuck, dude, that was too good. Oh man, I couldn't keep that up, dude. You had me cracking up with that shit.
Didn't even warn me.
Yeah, man, don't fuck with YAG and their payments, dude. They will get their lawyers and they will find a way to get their fucking money. What's going on, guys, man? This is fucking awesome. We got episode 21 and did a little solo episode last week, which was fucking awesome. And we got our good buddy Endo with us this week. What is going on, Endo?
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Hell yeah. So to give a little backstory, the first time that I had an encounter with Endo was, of course, over at the Alabrije Discord. He's one of the mods over there. And, early on, I think like most of us, we go to YouTube to start doing some research. And I was looking, I was like, well, I see all these different people posting on YouTube of different, plants they're growing or this or that by different breeders. And there was not anybody that I could find that was posting anything about Alabrije. But there was this one channel that was called the Slow Lane, and I didn't put the 2 and 2 together, right? Because over on Discord it's Endo, but he did have the TSL, and I never, of course, me not being the brightest person, I never put the 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, the Slow Lane, all right, and then all of a sudden it clicked, and I messaged, I was like, holy shit, you're the fucking Slow Lane, like. I've been watching your videos on Alabrije, and this is fucking awesome. So, yeah, man, this is fucking way too cool, dude. So it is awesome to have you on here. And another thing that I have to blame on you, sir, is my money that I've spent with New Moon. That was the first time that I had ever seen any of the New Moon Earthbox covers, and I saw him over on the Alabrije Discord, and it was him. And he goes, yeah, just go check out the homie New Moon. He's got all kinds of cool shit. So thank you for the we're not going to say how much money I've spent over there, but
oh yeah,
it's been good. It's been a good amount.
I have 6 Earthbox covers and 4 Autopot covers. It won't give me an affiliate link. I've sent probably 20 people over there. But, it is what it is. It's good.
Damn it, New Moon. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
My favorite thing is I had him build me a Earthbox cover that fits over a regular size Tupperware, so I could make a mini Earthbox.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe he made it. I remember I DM'd him. I was like, I have something weird for you if you want to make it.
That's too funny, man. It's too funny. So let's get started with this, man. This is something I was really excited about. You are, I would say, with the combined knowledge that Nerd and I have on organic growing, and we probably just scratched the surface as to the knowledge that you have, sir. So we are going to be picking your brain on that. And I want to hear what you got going on in your garden. And let's kind of start off with this. How long have you been growing, or how long would you like to share that you've been growing? And where'd you kind of start?
Well, I will start off by just correcting you and say that I am a humble steward of the worms and the micros and macros in my garden that are making everything happen.
Fair enough.
I've learned the majority of all the base information I've completely learned from Jeremy. I've followed Jeremy, and then it kind of spiraled off from there. And now I kind of have my own little AI assistant that I use to kind of drill down further and explore new ideas and thoughts, and it helps me learn along the way. Like you say, I have a lot of information, but I don't know. I feel like I'm completely reliant on the community and just the tools available, and I just
the knowledge of being able to use your tools.
I try and connect everybody to that and everything. And the Discord and Build a Soil is it's just a nice community. Everybody's really friendly in there. So
that's one that I have not gone down into yet. Yeah. I may have to go check that out.
Yeah, you got to pay. You got to pull out your wallet to get in there. But I'm the
not
head
even
moderator
feet pictures. Does Jeremy like feet pictures or anything like that? Does that do him any? Is that get him going on the Discord?
I don't think they mind.
No discount.
Yeah, I'm not sure it'll get you anywhere.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. I think I'll stick to his videos, and I'll pick your brain. I think that'll do me good. I'm gonna save on a couple of my change.
Please do.
That is too funny, man. But so, your garden.
I didn't answer your question, by the way.
Oh, we were just going to steamroll on past, but please answer it.
I started growing in February of 23, so I am 2 years in, and my very first grow was Juicy Quain by Alabrije.
No shit. And so your first one was an auto. You started off with autoflowers.
Well, I went all in. I researched for several months, and then I built up that 5x9 tent. I have a 2x4 tent that's connected to it in series, like a lung tent. And that 5x9 is filled with the 4x4 bed and then the 4 auto pots. It was earth boxes at the time.
Okay.
And so I grew the Yoda Soda by Ocean Grown, or the OG grow off from seed to stone. That was my main first grow. But then I had the auto pots, or the earth boxes, with Alabrije. I ended up running 12-12 for the last of it on flower, and I've since moved the auto flowers out of that main tent, so I could just focus on 20 hours the whole time. But
so that's your chosen. You like 20 hours for autos.
Yeah, I like 20 for autos, and then I do I do nothing but photos and the 5x9.
No shit. So in the 5x9, you're so from what I'm hearing from you, you pretty much started with organics. You went right to organics. What kind of drew you towards this organic growing style?
I don't know if it's just I'm getting old or what. You've mentioned similar, themes in your videos that I just want to take care of myself and be healthy.
What made you decide to go organic growing instead of going salts? Have you ever dipped your toes in the salt world, or
man, I thought about it.
Toes in salt. Thought about it.
I thought about it really hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Not really anything that kind of brought you over to that dark side, huh?
Well, man, the idea of like a deep water culture, big circulating scientific madman system with tubes and water and stuff, and just giving them exactly what they want and getting the biggest plan I could get. But ultimately, it just came back to I wanted to do it, in a more natural and just organic way, and a more just healthy way. And from I know it's kind of a sensitive topic, but they all kind of seems like all the other growers generally agree that it is very plausible that living soil terps are the best terps, and those are the terps that I decided I wanted to go for.
That is the talk around town, and I think I will agree on it as well. And I think it's something too. I mean, of course, it's all just kind of if you want to call it bro science or, just kind of, just
Right.
us talking around, right? I know Alabrijes mentioned it. We talked to other people. When you're growing stuff, and I do believe it, that growing organically, the plant is going to express itself in its more natural state because it does what it does instead of us forcing the food into it, right? So it naturally does its own expressions. But yeah, man, and it's to me, and we have these talks with the other growers that are salts or synganics or whatever, and it just seems like organics is just so much easier to me. Like the idea when I think of, and I know there's a lot of people that say, you should be pHing your water, and I definitely would like your input on that, but that's something that I don't do. Any way that I can kind of cut a corner, so to speak, make it a little easier on myself if I've got to spend less money on something. And organics just seems like the upfront cost may get you, and it may turn you off in that sense, but it seems like it's a little bit cheaper and it's a little easier going through because you're not doing quite as much.
It is. I think it's harder to wrap your head around, and then of course there's the whole bug and worm issue,
right?
Where everybody wants, to, oh, well, I want to do living soil, but I don't want to have bugs and worms, and of course that's not gonna really work. Shout out Faith from Seed to Stone. But it's a bit of an investment to start off with, but yeah, I think in the long term, the reamendment process and the pretty much no-till, you don't have to keep putting in soil, and it does kind of, once you get the simplest or understanding I have of living soil is that you have just a big battery that the life can pull from. And as long as you stay ahead of the game and you're not just completely lopsiding that battery in there and you're just doing a half-ass job of maintaining a balance, set of nutrients in there for everything to break down, it's just going to keep going and going and going. And
what's your view on so some of us we get very technical with things and we like to use measuring cups and stuff. What is your view on measuring from the heart when it comes to organics?
The
hard-hitting questions.
I go grateful in some methods, and I'm checking. I'm like, just take all that in there.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then like sometimes though, I'm very precise, and like when I fill up the reservoir for the auto pots, it's like 25 gallons. So I kind of feel like I should probably, at least make an attempt to make this, a consistent blend of stuff in here. And I don't put much in the res. I just put labs, some Yahweh and stuff like that in there.
Okay. Now that brings us to the point of the pHing.
Yeah.
What is your view on any of that?
What's pH again?
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't pH shit. I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah. And that's it's one of the things I have well water. So I know sometimes I do see some buildup of what I would assume are minerals that are either kind of on the side of my earth box or whatever it may be. And I know surely that can't be wonderful. And I think as long as I'm keeping up on my filter change for my my pre-filter for the house, and it's not getting too gunked up. And I think I did very early on check my pH, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I don't check any of that shit anymore, and I just don't really care about it.
I have a filter for I'm sitting here trying to rack my brain. Chlorine and chloramine. Filters out that. Those are the main two I filter out.
Oh, see, I am lucky that I do not have to deal with any of that stuff. Though I do the high tech style with filling up 1 gallon jugs. So if I had to, right, that's gonna off gas because it's just sitting in my room. But yeah, I get my water right from the front of my house. They got a well just drilled straight down. So as fresh as it can get, I imagine.
Yeah, I got that city water. It doesn't, I don't have any buildup of residue on the grassroots bed yet. I keep waiting for it to get just super ugly. But no, it still looks pretty. Still got that nice light tan color.
Wonderful.
I've adjusted on the fly here. I'm starting to take notes as you're talking so I can stop being so stoned and forgetful and I can actually answer your questions, right?
Hey, it's all right because I will be stoned and forget what I asked you, and then we'll just move on like it never happened. So
yeah, I'll watch it back, and I'll roast myself. I'll be extremely critical of myself.
We'll let Endo lead this episode. We're gonna we'll let him lead this. He'll lasso us back in every once in a while. Like, hey, hang on a second, guys. We were supposed to be talking about this.
I mean, I may. We'll see. I'll probably only help in post, if anything, though. We'll see. I think you've got this on lock.
Oh,
Nerd,
no,
are you running that green screen still? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm on green screen right now.
Bro, it looks clean.
Yeah, it's not bad. I took a picture of my desk and then just put it on.
Nice.
I love how you guys get all.
I didn't think you had a green screen back there, Griff.
I don't. This is just the normal picture of my messy room with my guitars that I no longer play, and some little grow gear and this and that over there. But I did order. I did order a screen to go behind me, but it's not green. So we're gonna see. I got a black one with some art on it. And but after ordering it, I was like, at first said it was going to be here on this date, and then it was going to be here on that date, and then I just went over to Amazon and checked to see where it was coming from. I was like, oh, it's coming from China. That's why it's taking so long. So I'm slightly concerned as to exactly what it is that I will be receiving. I never really, I'll look at a product and I'll be like, oh yeah, the picture looks nice. I'll go with the picture. I don't really read into too much further. That's a little bit past my pay grade.
Yeah, that's sketchy. You can't do that.
So I may get like a towel-sized drop, and the next episode, we should have it for the next episode, and we can all laugh about it.
Oh yeah.
Also, I got you a green screen and a stand.
Oh shit!
Yeah, next time you come over,
thanks, buddy.
I forgot you had ordered that one, so when I bought the lighting kit, I bought one that came with an extra green screen and a stand and everything.
Nice.
So you're good. Just next time.
Black one might be nice too for a backdrop.
And that that was kind of my thinking, because again, with my trying to improve things, and I'd like to be able to try to take pictures with the plants and have like a nice backdrop. And it can be tough, right? Because of the way my setup is, I've got the earth boxes, so I can't exactly like haul them upstairs or anything. So I was thinking of having, where I could bring it down to my room and try to get it, away from all the other plants and just kind of have something like that. So the black was the first thing that I was like, oh, let's give that a try, because that's what I see a lot of people do with, like plant pictures. So,
I'm jealous of that big ass room you've got there, all that space.
Man, see, and it's so funny. People, I hear that, and then like for you, like I'm jealous of your setup, dude. And we're gonna get into that for sure. I love seeing how clean everything is. I do love the tent life. Like it looks good. But with mine, I do. It is definitely more my style, because I'm not a high tech person, right? I've got my posters up. It's a 10.5 by 10.5 room, and it's just kind of like somewhere where I can decorate it. And, the grow. Yes, the consuming of the plant is something that I love, and it helps me out a lot. But having that spot where I could really go to like decompress or forget things, hang out for a little bit, and, decorating it and putting, little things up on the wall is just something fun for me to do. So I enjoy it. It's maybe not necessarily always the most effective and efficient way to run it. But it's fun, and that's all I really care about at the end of the day.
Nice.
Right.
My entire grow space is a lot less pleasing on the eye than yours is. You don't get to see the rest of mine. I've got a nice chill little setup in there with the TV and computer, and
Hell yeah.
And my car is tucked in there half the time.
Okay.
I cut you off, nerd. What were you going to say?
Was I going to say something?
You're going to say something now.
Oh,
see what I did?
He's good at this, man. He's good, man. I might have to trade spots with him.
So Grateful, you've said that your grow room looks bigger on video than it does in real life. You feel like?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always about the angles, right? I've gotten really good at the angles.
So, what did you say? Well, no one here is going to have this point of reference, but is it like the size of like the living room part of my basement?
No. So it's about half of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a 10.5 by 10.5, square. It's got like a little nook where you see where my exhaust goes through. I've got a window there that would be kind of like as like a underground. So technically, that's my basement, right? So there's that window there, and I've got a piece of wood that covers that window that I have my exhaust coming out with a one-way damper on it, so nothing's coming back in. And then I've got spray foam because again, trying to go the cheapest and easiest way that I had in my mind. I was like, oh, well, how am I going to insulate this now? Well, fuck it. Let's just get a bunch of cans of fucking spray foam. And I just, sprayed it in there and it works. The reason why I ended up going with that is I have a window there and that window was already cracked. And when you put spray foam behind a window that's already cracked and it's got nowhere else to go, you will get more cracks. So I do not suggest anybody using spray foam on a window or area that you plan on trying to save at some point, because that shit's trashed.
That seems like a fairly semi-permanent solution.
Yeah. It's we've got room. There's right. I'm leaving myself set up for room for improvement. Right. I can't just go straight in and do everything all cool, cool guy like you. I've got to set myself up and, go through the trials and tribulations of these things, learn, bitch about things. I thrive in this abuse and like, this trying to find my way when I know that there's an easier way if I just did it right. But I'll cut the corners until I can't cut them anymore.
There's a product called Reflectix.
Okay.
It comes in a roll. It's like a aluminum shiny foil insulation.
Almost like a panda film type thing.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's like I don't know, that thick or so.
Yeah.
1/4 inch max, and it comes in like 2-foot strips that are like 40 feet long. And I've got that stuff on my garage door, and I've got it all layered up on my window. I've got an AC unit in the window in the garage, and then the window itself has like 3 stacks of that Reflectix up on it.
Okay.
And then the sun comes through and hits that window at the end of the day and reflects it out. And then during the winter, it insulates the heat into the garage fairly decently.
Okay. Yeah, so right now, as most people know, I've got the tarp, and that's kind of what I've stuck with, right? Like that's the flooring. I'm able to rip that out and put new stuff in once it gets. So I really need to look into something a little bit more permanent. Of course, one of the things with my room is it's drywall, right? So one of the things I try not to get the humidity up too high because I don't want to deal with mold, obviously. So I do try to, I don't always do great by the plants in that sense where I allow my humidity, for early veg type stuff. So, but I one of these days I would love to either tear the walls down and put up some sort of proper, stuff, or maybe we'll spend some more money. Well, eventually we'll get there, but for now we'll spend more money on like panda film or something like that, and I'll kind of redo the walls with that like white stuff. That was another idea that I had, but we'll see. But enough of my fucking grow. I don't know why we're talking about my grow. I want to hear about Endo's. So, like you said, you have the 5. You said, is it the 5x8, 5x9?
5x9.
Okay.
GGT with the extension.
Hell yeah. So, and you've got that bed has been in there since day one. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So how many cycles do you have in there now? And you said, how big was the bed again? My apologies.
No, that's all right. And in fact, I went ahead of time, just so you know, and I took specific note of how many grows I've been on. So I didn't stumble and fumble for like 5 minutes to try and answer this
I would have taken
question.
any number that you said and taken it to heart. And then if I heard you say it any time again, I would say, well, wait, Endo, you told me.
Yeah. I'm holding myself accountable for you guys. I'm on my 7th run.
Okay. All right. And now
it's a 4x4 bed.
And you've done so that what's our base soil that we started with on there?
Oh, I got the deal of the century.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was Black Friday 2022. What, like 3 months before I could even like legally grow yet. And I figured at that point I might as well just wait. And so I just kept researching the whole time. But I bought my soil at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then just held on to it until
no
February.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My garage was filled with shit. And I took a video of myself unboxing like it came on this big crate. And I made this video and I edited it and I put music to it and I didn't release it because it had me in it. You could see me.
Oh, okay.
And it's still on YouTube. I'm going to release it one day. If I ever actually get a decent following and I have more than like 60 views, I may release that video because I think it's
I would love to see that. That'd be awesome.
But the deal I got was I bought 2 take and bake kits. And
okay,
if I remember correctly, I don't have this right in front of me, but I got that deal cheaper than anybody's ever gotten it because
feet pictures.
No, unfortunately, yeah. That would have been a great pre-segue from the intro. Boom, feet pics. No, there was the Black Friday special, and then of course he gives some extra love to the Discord homies, right?
Yep.
Well, there's a human back there making those discounts and putting the codes in and everything and having to interact with the system, and the human made a mistake. And the human allowed the Discord discount to stack on top of the website discount. And it's supposed to be like just a little bit better of a discount, but you got it ahead of time. Well, They ended up kind of crossing paths in a little bit. And I got each of those take and bakes for like, I don't know, 200 and I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but it was way cheaper than you would normally be able to get it. So it's 120 gallons of soil. And Very then nice. I bought a whole bunch of Build a Soil light bags, and that's pretty much what I run. I'll get some peat moss and some rice hulls and make a bit of a seedling mix to start off with, but I generally just use Build a Soil light, even for my outdoor garden.
No kidding.
I don't know why. I need to be a little more thrifty, but
my wife would kill me
out there too.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I think that's also one of the reasons why I ended up going organic, because it's like I can just like hit her with a big price at once, right? Like you're like, all right, I need some amendments, and right, and I spend all that money, and then it's like, well, but look, babe, I'm not spending any more money for this, length of time, so it's actually not that bad.
I just use it for the starters for outdoor. I don't actually like put a bunch of dirt in the ground outdoors or whatever from Build a Soil. I don't do too much. I try and make the life out there do its thing.
Sure. Heck yeah. Yeah, I know our soil here is very very sandy. I should do a soil test. I know when I first made my garden out there, I got a bunch of peat moss and stuff, and to try to build up some of the I guess organic material and stuff in there. So but yeah, it's something that trying to improve my native soil, so I'm not having to get like all these big beds and spending all this money on different soil and stuff, trying to be thrifty. I'm not thrifty by choice. I am a bougie bitch, and if I can spend the money, if I can howling tech it, right? If I can buy it and just do that, I am game. But my wife is a very thrifty person, and so by guilty of association with her, I have to be. So
shots fired at Howling.
That's it. He likes it. So we're running that bed, and do you mainly run autos, photos, both in that main bed?
So in the 5x9 is all photos.
Okay, that's right.
I have ran autos in there before. I planted directly, and it was a little more difficult. Like it was I say it was a little more difficult. It was definitely a different process. You have to kind of handle a little bit differently. You got to kind of water a little more frequently and less dense or less.
Yeah.
What the hell's the word I'm looking for? You don't want to soak them as quite as hard, because you want to just constantly make sure there's some moisture right there and let them get established before you let it get too dry in that immediate area, because they're super finicky.
Yeah.
But it turned out pretty good. But ultimately that bed though, like if I put photos in there, I just grow a bunch of baseball bats, and so I'm just like, I can't stomach trying to just grow autos in that big ass bed. With the roll of the dice, I'd rather have a little more control over it. But the auto pots, man, it's where it's at for those.
Now with the auto pots, what do you what size containers are you running? What kind of containers are you running? What's your auto pot setup?
Double XL, 13 gallon.
Hell yeah!
Go with the big one.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, sipping from below, and little poop dirt.
Yep.
And it's the gardener's theme right there.
I love it. We're definitely gonna need a poop dirt Endo song. That is one thing I like about your videos that you do, and your different the songs that come in. Those are so fucking fun, and I definitely know that's something that I want to kind of talk about while we got you on here, because they are too funny, man. You do a really good job.
I'm dropping one here in 15 minutes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's called the Garden of Green. And this is the song that I told you reminded me of you, my friend. It's dropping in 15 minutes.
Guaranteed to have banjos.
Strings. Strings. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm so excited to see that.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like straw and mud in your toes.
Hell yeah.
And you're gonna feel friends and family all around you as soon as you start hearing this song.
That sounds like a good time. That does sound like me.
Yeah.
Nice. So you obviously, from what I heard you say, that you really early on when you got your first take and bake, you made your first video. Was it that when you got into this gardening, you're like, I'm going to start making content? Or was it you did something before this or anything, and you just kind of already had the that kind of mentality, like, hey, well, let's document this? Because for me, when I first started, I didn't do any of that. Like I was just growing to grow.
Well, when COVID hit, I bought a Sony A6100, and I didn't get really into it, but over time I got more and more just into using my camera. And then I had a couple of capture cards because I was working from home, and one thing led to another, and I realized that like this was kind of, I don't know, this was like a big event that I'd been kind of mildly dreaming about my whole life, having the opportunity to do all this, and I wanted to document it. Yeah. And I was, I don't know, just really big into build the soil. I'm watching Jeremy document his growth and everything, and I was like, I want to try and document some of this. And then I got into the Discord, and they have like grow diaries and stuff. So you can, kind of have your own little section of build the soil and document your grow, and people can join the thread and watch and stuff.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So it kind of reminds me kind of like over at Cultivation, right? They have like the different rooms and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Very similar. Yeah. Gotcha. Need to get Jeremy's ass on YouTube a little more often though, and maybe show off some of those homies' grows. That'd be a good idea.
There you go. That's right.
But so shit, what was I saying? What the hell did you ask me?
We were talking about as to why you decided to start where's your notes, sir?
I know I don't. I was in the middle of talking. I already had it unlocked, and then I forgot in the middle of the answer.
No, so the kind of like what made you decide to start kind of documenting? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically it. I guess I did answer it. That's basically it. I just kind of got motivated from Jeremy and the Build the Soul crew, and I started seeing some people online on YouTube making some videos and whatnot, and I was like, you know what? At the very least, I just want to kind of document this. I wasn't necessarily trying to make a community. I didn't show my face, because I wasn't trying to. I just kind of wanted to put the videos out and see what happened. And ultimately, I just got so addicted to making these videos. And at first, I was just using the Google Music Library.
Okay.
And there's a dude. It's been a minute since I've looked, but I'm pretty sure his name is Neffex, Neffex, and he's got all these bangers on there that are, I don't know, they're fairly similar in theme. You can kind of tell that the same guy. And all my Alabrije videos were using that guy's music. And then, and then the Yoda Soda, I used a kind of a mix of other people's stuff, and then I did voiceovers and whatnot. And I don't know, I just the feedback I got was way better than I expected. And even though
the Grow community is so awesome,
looked at it, but yeah, like the people that did were like, "Bro, where's the next video?" And I'm like, "Well, shit, I guess I need to start putting out more videos." And I ended up just kind of falling off. I got really busy, and I'm broke, and I got bills and everything. So I'm just trying to hustle, and like one thing led to another, and I'm an IT guy in my personal life. That's what I do for a living, and I've been getting more and more into AI, and I just have my own little assistant here, and I haven't even paid for any AI features for anything. I don't. No, I haven't paid for a single thing. Everything that I've used so far has been free. I went to a work conference just recently that was about AI, and there was a specialist there. And he kind of talked me into, I just signed up last night for the $20 a month Chat GPT. So watch out. I don't know what's going to happen now that I've got that under my belt.
Hell yeah.
But that just really, it just motivated me to be on I felt like this was an opportunity to be to be like a front leader of adopting this tech. And, like there's a lot of YouTube growers showing up that are very, very small, but still bigger than me. There's a decent amount of people out there getting some traction. And, I thought it's not too late. There's still lots of time to grow. And I just really enjoyed it. So I just thought I felt dumb just not trying.
Sure. No, and I mean, it definitely shows that you've definitely got you've got the passion for the growing. You've got obviously passion for the tech side of it, right? And I love to see it when someone's doing something just a little bit different, right? Like your videos are just a little bit different than other people's, and like the stuff that we do just a little bit different than. And right. I love to see that, and the fact that you're able to use your tools with like this AI and stuff like that, like and I've mentioned this before. Like if I had done this stuff on my own, my videos would be unwatchable because I would not be editing. I would not be doing any of that stuff. And, there'd be a lot of like, all right, what am I doing next? And, I'm picking my nose or scratching my ass. And Nerd just makes it look like, it's just stuff that I wouldn't have an inkling as to how to start. And then I would lose interest in trying to learn that stuff because my brain just doesn't. Like, I'm like, oh, look, there's a squirrel outside. Let's go outside. It very hard when it comes to technology for me. I could watch a video or try to like read something, or if Nerd's like, okay, look, like here's the deal. And he sends me like a layout of like, this is what you got to do, this, and this. And I'll look at it and it's like,
okay, Dad.
Yeah. Like it goes in one ear. It's like I'm rebelling. I just don't want to learn just cause. But what's really cool with your videos, man, is obviously everything about them, but they're very crisp. You've got the good quality camera. You've got your editing software is obviously on point, and you know how to use it. And like I said, your songs that you come up with, because that's definitely something that I wanted to talk about. You always have these fucking awesome songs, and walk us a little bit through, because I know you've kind of shared it with us, but let's put it out there as to, if you guys haven't ever seen one of his videos, you definitely got to go check them out. But the songs that he has come in are just top notch. So tell me a little bit about what made you decide to start doing them, and what is exactly that you do to come up with these killer tracks.
Well, I don't know. I always there's a possibility that in another life I could have been a comedian. I enjoy being clever, and when other people are clever, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
and so I just really pick up on that kind of silly nature, and delivery, and it just kind of I just kind of try and go with the flow and see what kind of happens. Just kind of depends on how my headspace is, what the topic is.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like I don't know. I start off with Copilot. That's what I was doing. I may have to use just Chat GPT now that I've upgraded the plan. But I will start off with just an idea or a theme or something and like for this song that is releasing today, I'll see if I can refresh my memory. I wanted to portray a sense of self with nature and community, and building a framework from the ground up, and living in the garden to grow for you and your family, and to promote healthy living. That's not verbatim, but that's the idea. It's like I want to really portray that I love being out in the garden, and how important it is to me, and what I enjoy doing. And then I started and so I gave it the premise at the beginning, like this is the goal. And then obviously there's a whole long, this is like the fourth or fifth song, maybe seventh one that I've done or whatever. And so it's got all that chat history built up. And
so it will remember stuff that you've worked with it before, right, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it knows that I'm Endo and I'm the Worm King. Right?
Yeah. So my Chat GPT knows who you are, and it can differentiate. Like if I tell it we're making a piece of content, it'll actually say tell Paranoid to do this and tell Grateful to do this, because I've talked about both of you so much. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. You talk about us?
Yeah. So I'll be like, well,
yeah, you talk to it like.
But even if I don't say which of the three of us the content is for, it just knows based on what I'm saying. I'm like, shit. You're talking about going to a concert. This must be a piece of content for Paranoid.
Okay. No shit. That stuff is so wild to me.
Really nuts.
And I will I will edit what it gives me. And then it will be like, aha, I like that. I see. Okay. And then it will start trying to mimic that type of, silliness or whatever, moving forward. And yeah, it's just
no shit.
So I'll have a decent, sometimes I'll just start off with a riff. Like in one of my songs, shit, it's the main song. Shit. I knew I should have taken more notes before I got
more notes.
But yeah, so anyway, I got the hook on the Organic Matter song. Organic matter is in my bed. It's alive and green, and then it's dead. But that's not the hook. Worms weave through the earth. It's a rebirth. Breaking down organic matter. Now it's poop dirt. That's the hook.
Yeah.
And so I got that hook, and I was like, oh God, I love that hook. And so then I went over to Udio, and I started working on processing, making an actual song in Udio. And with the free version, you just start off in 30-second clips. And so I put all the lyrics in there for a 30-second part, which included that hook. And then it creates 2 samples, and then I just listen to them. and then it may take 2 or 3 efforts to get a really good solo one, maybe more. You tell it what kind of theme you want, like that particular song, it was like female vocals, R&B, kind of a smooth vibe kind of a thing. And next thing you know, I got this 30 seconds with that hook in it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. and then I built off a 30-second intro. I changed my mind. I went from the Garden of Green to Organic Matter. So I went to make the intro, and like the intro of the song, I haven't actually played it yet, but it's this like woman, and it sounds like she's kind of in her car singing to herself. She's like, organic matter is in my bed. It's alive and green, and then it's dead. And then and then she sings the rest of that part, and then the beat kicks in, and it's like she breaks down on the ground. And I'm just like the whole song, it's just stuck in my head. Like it's so
awesome.
Man, I just I love this. I love the song.
While we're on the music topic, are you obviously you're musical in some kind of way where you like putting that effort into making stuff like that, but do you play any instruments, or have you ever tried or anything like that?
I can't claim that I actively play any instruments now. I am musically inclined. I played trumpet in junior high and grade school. So
you can join our Grateful Nerd Paranoid ska band that we're going to do. Paranoid also plays trumpet. Okay. So we're working. We just need about 20 more people, and then we can kick this off.
I also played French horn.
Nice.
I was in marching band.
Okay.
And I was also an athlete. I was a bit of an enigma. I hung out with a motley crew of people. But
sounds about right.
I got a guitar when I was younger. I've been able to play it a little bit. I think I just moved away from my mic. But
no, you're good.
I can learn guitar, but I haven't made the effort to do it yet. But I'm quite sure I could get a lot better at it. I've got a couple guitars. They're both pretty cheap, but they're decent. And
hell yeah.
I have a game called Rocksmith 2014.
Oh my God!
Yep,
you're playing the 2014 one where you can you hack it with Smashing Pumpkins, and you can use Custom Forge. Is that what you're doing?
I haven't done that. I need to get more into it. It's out in the garage, and with that computer, and it is ridiculous. I've got computers all over the house.
That's funny.
So if you're playing the 2014 version of Rocksmith on PC, you do have to spend, I think it's $2. You buy Cherub Rock by Smashing Pumpkins.
I think I have it.
And then there's something about that song that allows you to hack into it. So there's this whole community of people who make their own songs, and from what I understand, they have like a under the table handshake with the company where as long as they don't post any songs that are on the Rocksmith store, it's fine. So that's where you can find like rare bands, or like, oh yeah, I wanna learn how to play from this one metal band.
I just made my notes.
No,
it's so cool. But yeah, it's called Custom Forge, and you just hack it into your Rocksmith, and then you can just they have a whole message board where people post songs that they mapped out for the game.
That's dope.
Oh shit! Now for us, I'm slightly familiar with that because I've seen it over at your place. But for anybody that doesn't know what Rocksmith is, give us a little rundown of what that is.
It's basically Guitar Hero, but you play the actual guitar or bass.
No shit. So you can use like a learning tool type thing.
Yeah. So there's a mode where the song will start off really easy, and then the better you play it, it'll keep adding more notes in. And then there's also a regular Guitar Hero mode where you can just do easy, medium, hard. Master difficulty on a song, nothing shows up on screen, so you have to play it as if you're playing a gig. It also has like mini games. Like there's one where it teaches you how to play guitar chords by it's a zombie first person shooter.
What?
And
arcade modes, little slides. And
yeah. So you have to like play a chord to shoot a bullet out of the gun, things like that. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, if I got that, I'd probably be spending far too much time on that shit. That does sound fun.
It helped during COVID when I like wasn't in bands or anything. I wasn't playing live or.
Yeah,
I could just play along with the band, basically.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things that I find as, someone that has played. Once you get into that point where you're playing in bands or you're jamming with other people, to go home and, I'm going to hate to say it like this, but to go home and play with yourself is just, it's not as fun.
It's natural though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, it is what it is. But what about what would you consider is your music of choice? What do you listen to on kind of like a daily basis type thing?
Oh man, I'm all over the map. There is no music of choice. I
was hoping you were going to say Billy Strings, but all right.
I've been following Billy Strings literally because of you.
Okay.
And I can't think of the guy's name. I'm sure you probably tell me this. It's Steve Beto, maybe. There's a guy on YouTube that's got his own little channel about guitars, and it's in this obviously like I've been doing guitar shit my entire life studio.
Rick Beato.
Yeah, that big. And it was a really cool episode. It was like over an hour with him just chilling and
it's a new video that just came out, right?
It just came out.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had never heard of the guy before until then, and I haven't watched that video yet, but I have to.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's really long, but I was just like, damn, this guy's awesome. And like I haven't gone to see any sort of live music in forever.
Okay.
But you kind of made me want to go see a little Billy Strings.
Dude, I'll tell you what, he puts on an amazing show. And I don't want to talk too much about the weekend that because I just went down to Nashville.
Yeah.
Got to see him 2 nights, not in a row, Friday and Saturday. I'm hoping that Paranoid hears this and he finally invites me onto the show. I've been like, hey, are we going to do a show together? Are you going to let me come on? And so we'll talk. I'm going to save all the good juicy details for that. But
nice.
This was the 3 times that I saw him, and there's just something about bluegrass that like tickles my soul. Something about just like the banjos and like especially when you get a band that vibes together so well. And I am a sucker for a good like male tenor voice in bluegrass band. Like I like other ones, but I think tenor is really like when they get those little falsetto, like where they're singing up a little too high. Or just like that old school bluegrass where it sounds like a dog that's stuck in some barbed wire, like just not great singing and not always on tune. It's kind of all over the place, but there's just something about that traditional. I don't know. I like it. So yeah,
Me too.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. Love to hear it. You had a program that you had mentioned where it can kind of plan out your outside garden and all that. And like when you start things and this and that. So I wanted to kind of get into, before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about your outside garden, your peppers. What is it that you got planned for the season, coming up for your outdoor garden?
Well, that website is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out.
It's called seedtime.us.
Okay.
And I will log in here to my account. This thing, let's see. I've got my schedule here. I've got a lot of work to do here today. When we get off here, I got to go get outside and start working on those beds somewhere.
It's about that time, huh? We're getting real close. I had a little bit of a, I get the winter blues sometimes. I apologize for veering this off a little bit, but I get the blues in the wintertime, and it's always towards the end here that I really start kind of dealing with even more depression than I normally would, right? Just because I'm over the cold and everything. But there was a little glimpse of light that I saw the other day that kind of pulled me out. And it's those I believe they're called lilies. They're the ones where they just start popping up out of the leaves and everything, right? And then so I'm starting to see the first signs of summer or spring kind of poking through.
Nice.
And it's getting me excited. So
it snowed here last night.
Fuck that. Yeah, I was actually out your way not too long ago.
You messed up the vibe.
Another reason why that part of the country is just miserable. It's too cold. We're too cold up here in the Northeast. I hate it.
Well, as far as peppers go, I've got some California Wonders, some Canary Bells, got some Guajillos, Serranos, and Cubanelles, some Ghost Peppers, some Sugar Rush Peach, and some Ají Limón.
Wow. That's already a pretty. Now, are you doing one plant of each, or do you plan on having a couple? That's going to be a decent size just pepper garden.
Yeah, we're gonna do a few of each. Definitely a lot of the bells, because they don't really produce as much.
Okay.
And then my goal is to the Cubanelles. I want to just use those to stuff them and eat them.
Okay.
And then I've been doing a lot of work with AI on preservation and pickling and just whatever sort of options I have to preserve the peppers, drying and powdering them, that sort of stuff. So that's my goal is to I'm trying to grow what I would eat.
Yeah.
And I want to make it to where I don't have to think about the preservation part. Because right now I like it's taking like all my mental capacity to just even wrap my head around like what I'm going to do with each thing, but I've got plans and outlines from my AI research on what I can do with each sort of food and how I'm going to preserve them. So I've got like some notes on what to do, how I'm going to do it. And for now, I'm just trying to keep up with the seeding and transplanting process and get everything in line on time. But this website is extremely helpful to not I don't have to think about when I'm doing everything. You just tell it like when your frost dates are and what kind of plant it is. Yeah, and it just
lays it all out for you.
Yeah, it does everything for you, and you can customize it. Like if you want to do succession planting and stuff. If you want to do spring versus fall, you can say, actually, I want to run this broccoli for the fall. So start the seedlings, for that based on the first frost date. It'll reverse everything and then start ahead of time to where everything runs out in the right amount of time.
Man, that would make my life so easy. Instead, I
need structure.
I need structure myself. The problem is I am not proactive enough to put those in place to help me. I think I made the joke with you where it's like I know that I would benefit, and I hear people saying that they benefit from all these note taking and stuff like this. But I'd just rather have the mental breakdowns like, fuck, when am I going to do this? Fuck, when am I going to do this?
I was already just feeling terrible about I had two of them at the very beginning. I was like, shit, I need to take notes.
We just do everything off the top of our head over here. We just let it fly. Whatever sticks to the wall, we'll go with.
I'm like in the middle.
I've got a whole bunch of different flowers and tomatoes and watermelons and lettuce and bok choy. And
now, how long have you been gardening outdoors like this? Because I remember last year when we did that pumpkin grow along, that was you really started cutting in some new areas for your garden. You were kind of building it up. And how long have you been gardening?
This is the third year. Maybe the second year in ground. And then the third year I've ran a garden here at this house. I gardened, I got divorced, I guess, a little over 13 or 11, I don't even remember, over 10 years ago. And back when I was married, I grew a little bit, but I haven't grown since then. I grew a little garden when I was like 8.
Okay.
In the front of my house. Yeah. And then I went to camp and everything died for that week when I came back. And then I grew when I was married, and then I've been growing in the last 3 years now.
I love it, man. And from what it sounds like, you've got quite the garden that you're going with, and cutting all these new. Are you cutting out some of these beds this year? What's your plan? How are you building your beds? Have you ever thought about doing any of those hugel cultures or anything like that? Because
yeah,
I'm really thinking about doing a couple of those beds this year. I keep saying that, but
I'm kind of doing it just out of necessity, because I don't want to go buy a bunch of soil, and I want raised beds to some extent. So all the beds that I'm adding on this year are all raised beds. I got an electric tiller, and I've got a big battery bank, a solar charger, I guess they would charge them or call them, and so it lets me run that thing out there really easily. And so I use that to start the new beds.
Cool.
Normally I don't till at all, but just trying to get everything started, it was worth $100 for me to get that little tiller, and it goes to town. It just sits there.
Yeah, they're really cool, man. We did get one as well for cutting the areas and stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely does help. So
you can tell where I've been gardening though. It's a lot like the soil is a lot softer and a lot more workable than the rest of the yard. The rest of the yard's kind of almost mud. It's not wet. It's just like solid and moist.
Okay. How's your yeah. How's your pest situation out there? Do you have to really deal with a lot of stuff, or
not bad? I really focus on pollinator friendly plants. I put a lot of flowers out there. Borage was the first thing that I put out there, and it just went crazy. And there's been times where I go out there and there'd be over 30 bees in my like 24 foot of garden space, just like the row of 24 straight feet right there. And there would just be so many bees there from the borage. And since then I've tried to diversify. And so I put out a bunch of zinnias and marigold and calendula, and
nice.
It really brings in there's a bunch of bugs out there, and
create the space for those beneficial ones, right? And they're gonna outcompete all the negative stuff, and just building that little ecosystem. And that sounds like what you're doing.
I also spray a little bit. I had some pests, some of the pumpkins got ravaged pretty good. But I got a lot of pumpkins out of it, but the plants themselves did take a pretty big hit. Most of them did eventually, at least. But I've got that last video I put out with thrips. I got some wettable sulfur. And diatomaceous earth. And I plan on using the wettable sulfur out in the outdoor garden. Fairly, aggressively, especially on the cucurbits. I'm going to coat those things pretty good. And I don't know how much impact it'll make, but it should make some. And also it'll just be good and healthy for the plants and everything. So I'll add that to the mix. I'll spray some zymes out there and stuff like that a little bit, just kind of try and mitigate a little bit if I feel like things are getting ugly, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, that was one thing that it was heartbreaking to see that video, man, because I think much like you were saying, you've gotten very lucky, right? You just haven't had. I ended up. I really don't have much of an IPM, lined up, but I have kind of loosely started I've been running it for a little bit. It was some stuff that Albrihe had mentioned. I think it's just like an insecticide and fungicide. I think it's like mammoth canitrol or something like that. So it's just something, I put my sprayer and I'll kind of spray that around the plants. But yeah, dude, that's one of I've been very lucky, right? Like I think the most pest issues I've ever had, like most of us, had some sort of battle with fungus gnats. But otherwise, I've been pretty lax, and I've been pretty I guess just really flying by the seat of my pants. And it makes me nervous when I see videos like folks with you are like doing the same thing. Like, yeah, man, like I didn't think it was going to be a problem. I got so lucky for a while, and then boom, it happens. And that can really, really put a damper on things, man. Like, how have you been dealing with that? How has that whole situation been going?
Well, I just looked at that Mammoth can control, man, and they charge so much money for the good stuff that's organic and clean, but will work and stuff. And I got Botanigard
Okay,
yes,
I'll check that out.
I have to go refer back to the receipt to go and confirm what it is. I think that's what it is. Yes. But I got that with the wettable sulfur, and yeah, my plan is to just be proactive from now on, and then veg. I'm gonna put down a nice coating of the wettable sulfur, the diatomaceous earth. If I see any sort of issues with pass, I'm gonna put that down on the base of the plants.
Okay.
Somehow I feel like that's not what the hell was your question?
I don't remember. I thought you were taking these fucking notes, dude. I was relying on you. I thought Endo said he was leading this, and you were going to be like circling back on things. I thought, yeah.
Well, ultimately, I just reacted, you know, and then I asked my AI assistant, you know,
I need to get me one of those.
what can I get? I was like, look at Build a Soil and tell me what's on there. You know, tell me what I should be looking at for there, and then I ended up realizing that the wettable sulfur is probably what I need. And then the spray that I was looking for, I can't think of the actual, you know, name of the chemical that's in there or whatever. But that Botanigard had it in there, and so I found it, and it was super expensive, just like that stuff was that you just.
Is it that what is it? Bacillus thuringiensis? Is that the?
You know, I think so.
I think it's one of there's a couple different strains. Is it strains of Bacillus?
It is. Yeah, it's the spray that I got. What's in it is called Ovaria bassiana. That's what I got.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what's in that stuff that I am using, but yeah, we'll keep. I should learn my lesson. Take advice from you. But again, like I said, I like to slam my hands in the car doors every once in a while just to learn. Shouldn't do that, stupid.
It's good content. I got to make the face.
Yeah, right. That's too funny, man. Y'all got anything else we want to talk about before we wrap it up here, or y'all want to take it out with any plugs you got, Endo, or anything you want to shout out?
Well, you know, we're living teal and pink over here in the flow lane. You know, whenever you feel things are getting a little stressful, just downshift, come over here, hang out, and you know,
check that place out.
buildthesoil.com. Maybe get a little 5% off.
Hell yeah! I've actually, it's funny. People come up to me and they'll ask me, you know, hey, you got a discount code for this or that? And then I just think of all the homies. So there was actually somebody I was talking to the other day. I was like, here, use this. You going to get something from Build the Soil? And I sent him your way. So,
well, I got a new user. You know, you get 5%, but if you get a brand new user that's never purchased from Build the Soil, you get 10. And I got one the other day, so that may have been the one. Thank you.
There you go, dude. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Spreading the help out with the homies. And listen, I appreciate you doing what you do, allowing us to. I know Nerd and I have picked your brain on some of this audio and visual stuff and messing with the cameras and this and that. So I appreciate you for hearing our rants every once in a while and helping us out. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. I enjoy it. I look forward to more of it. So keep it up. We're going to stay on your ass. There's not going to be, you know, any of the, you know, deviating off and not putting videos out for a little bit. We are going to bother you. So
Roger that. Thank you.
Keep it up, man. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been great.
Awesome, man. Peace.